for this project, we are going to be making an accomplishment wheel. So I want you to take a deep breath and think about this year. So I know it's been kind of crazy. So maybe you went to school, maybe you didn't, maybe you made new friends, maybe you didn't. So start thinking about what are some of your favorite memories from this past year. Then what I'd like you to do is just start writing them down. So this could be something that you really enjoyed doing this year, so it doesn't even have to be new. Like this year I read a lot of books. Not new to me, I always like to read, but I can write down a list of all the books that I've read, and that's a really big accomplishment for me. Maybe it's something small, like you fed your goldfish or your pets every day. So these don't need to be necessarily big, huge awards that you've won. You can add those if you have them. So if you won maybe a tournament or a game and you want to add that to your accomplishment wheel, you can. But they don't have to be huge. So anything that made you feel good. So this could be everyday things or really, really big things. I would just make a list. So you want to have maybe about 15 to 20 different ideas. You don't have to use all of them for your accomplishment wheel. So we'll write them all down, we'll come up with some symbols, so that way you don't have a lot of words in your drawing, but more of a visual representation of your accomplishments. And then we'll get started with how to create the accomplishment wheel so it's actually in a circle and you can sort of see a reflection of this year and kind of be proud of yourself and celebrate. So I hope you have fun with it. I can't wait to see what you make. Make sure that you post these on our Facebook so we can see what you made and cheer you on for your accomplishments.
First, I just like to write down a list of all of my accomplishments. I actually looked through my phone and saw a bunch of pictures of things that I've done, but you can always use your memory also. Then start drawing little sketches of what you might draw for each accomplishment. These can be quick sketches of just ideas or really detailed. This is all up to you how you want to practice before we start our main drawing. We will need to draw a large circle onto our paper. I'm going to use a few different objects around my house that I can use to trace a circle. If you don't have a protractor or a circle stencil, then this might be what you need to do. So I'm deciding that my bowl is maybe a little too large, so I'm going to try other objects that are also circle shaped. I ended up using a pot to draw my final circle because I liked the size. It wasn't too big and it also wasn't super small. You might want to ask a parent for help on this step. If your bowl or whatever you're tracing is sliding around, you'll end up having a pretty wobbly circle. You want this to be pretty close to a perfect circle, so I might even erase any lines that are outside of my circle before I decide to cut. It's always a good idea to keep your scissors pretty straight in your hand and turn your paper with your other hand instead of turning your wrist. I want to have about 8 sections in my circle, so I'm going to fold my circle in half 3 times. You can do this in the air, or I find it easier to lay down on my table. Remember, you can always pause this video at any time and rewind if you're getting lost. Now we're ready to start drawing. As you can see in the top corner, I have my sketches right next to me as I'm drawing, so that way I feel more confident as I go along. Sketch lightly and you can always erase if you mess up. For your sketch, it's okay to draw stick people. I'm going to start with stick people and then later on I'll add colored pencil and add a bunch of details like clothing and hair and whatever else I want to add to my stick people. But it's a little easier for me since it's so small to just draw stick people at first. As you're drawing each accomplishment, it's a good idea to really take some time and be mindful of how it feels drawing each accomplishment. Think about what feeling you're feeling. Is it joy, excitement? What are you feeling as you're drawing? And this might even help you with choosing colors later on. Now we're ready to start adding color. I'm just going to be lightly adding color at first and then building my layers and getting darker values as I'm working along. It's okay to start having words in your images or different textures in your backgrounds. You are really free to create this however you feel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you had a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what you made.